Israel's offer to mediate, Switzerland has now offered to mediate and host Russia-Ukraine peace talks. The president of Swiss Confederation, Ignacio Cassis, has spoken at a rally in Bern under the slogan that reads, and I quote, "Solidarity with Ukraine, stop the war," said that Switzerland will mediate in negotiations. We have been tracking all the rounds of talks that have taken place until now between Russia and Ukraine, and that has not led to any fruitful result yet. Although we do understand how Zelensky has now made it amply clear that Ukraine will not be a part of NATO, and also calling for peace talks now with Russia, keeping a set of demands that Ukraine has put forth. Also, Zelensky was very, very keen that talks happen directly with Putin and not with the foreign delegation that Russia sends. On the other hand, Russian negotiator has also hinted that there must be peace talks and it could probably reach a compromise situation. But Crispino, if I can come to you on this, could this really be the way out? Could Switzerland, being a neutral party, but at the same time we understand that they want the war to stop, and this is also something that Ukraine and Russia are both tending towards, at least that is the message that the leaders are putting up. Will Switzerland be able to hold the negotiations and take it forth in a more neutral manner?
Well, the latest country to poke its nose in the affairs here of this entire war is Switzerland. Now, as we rightly pointed out, after Israel, Switzerland has staked its claim to, in fact, broker peace between both nations. We have to wait and see really as to whether it really transpires. But what we do know now at this point of time is that Switzerland has adopted the sanctions, the EU sanctions against Russia at this point in time. What we're also learning is that the sanctions have hit Russia really hard, because remember, many of the Russians have billions in dollars of cash stashed in those Swiss banks. So having adopted the sanctions will hit the Russians. In another move here, Switzerland has offered to mediate between both countries, Russia and Ukraine, in an attempt to broker peace. The president of the Switzerland Confederation says he wants the war to stop at all costs because it is hitting the economy and the common man very hard, especially not just in Ukraine, but all of Europe as well. So Switzerland is right now playing a very active role. Earlier, it was a very quiet country, not meddling in anyone's affairs. What has been largely a neutral country. But now we're looking at the tide changing. It has affected the entire Europe, the situation unfolding in Ukraine at this point of time. After Israel's offer to mediate, Switzerland has now offered to mediate and host the Russia-Ukraine peace talks. The president of the Swiss Confederation, Ignacio Cassis, speaking at a rally in Bern under the slogan, "Solidarity with Ukraine, stop the war," and he has offered to mediate and find a solution between both countries. Now remember, as I had said earlier, Switzerland is adopting the 4th EU sanctions package against Russia, because remember, Russians have up to $213 billion stashed in offshore Swiss banks. So it's really a knife, an edge of the sword here for Russia at this point of time.
Absolutely, Crispino, and tracking the developments on that front for the moment. Thank you for joining us.